What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition. Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and HUDco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. If you're on Facebook, please like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. You know the drill. All right, we appreciate y'all for hanging here. One more share here of our YouTube page. Boom. All right, we're ready to roll, y'all. Let's get it. LSU and USC was announced yesterday. LSU and USC will play in 2024 to open the season in Allegiant Stadium out in Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. How about that, y'all? I'm pumped about it. They will not, and this is from the UCLA side, they're not canceling the UCLA game 2024. So remember, LSU's at UCLA this year. In 2022 and 2023, LSU plays Florida State in a neutral site, home and home, in Orlando and New Orleans. 2024, UCLA was making the return trip to Baton Rouge. They still are. That's just not going to be the season opener. LSU's going to open the season against SC out in Vegas, and then a few weeks later, they'll play UCLA in Baton Rouge. So they will play both LA teams from the Pac-12 in 2024. And I like it. I mean, I think it's a financially, that's a huge win for LSU because they'll have UCLA in Baton Rouge. They'll get a big gate for that game. And then, that's one of those, the USC games is one of those made for TV, pre-season kickoff classics where you just show up and collect a big check. And for that game in Vegas, LSU, USC, they're going to collect a hearty check. I don't know if it'll be $10 million, but it'll be north of $5 million, I'll bet you. Okay, let's say some good mornings. Truax, what's up, man? Good morning. Megan Hurst, Kelly Gross, Jeff McKithen, Dale Broussard. Looking forward to road trips to Vegas and then Clemson. Yeah, man. So I'll tip my cap certainly to LSU because they had gotten into the neutral site game routine where they played North Carolina in 2010. Oregon in 2011, 2012 they played Syracuse at home. Washington. They played Washington at home in 2012. The return trip. 13 they played TCU in Dallas. 14 they played Wisconsin and Houston. So you get the point. Like, they played a bunch of the 16 they played in Lambeau. They played a bunch of the neutral site games. 17 they played BYU. It was supposed to be in Houston but got moved to New Orleans. So they played a bunch of those neutral site openers. 18 they played Miami and Dallas. And ultimately, fans kind of started getting annoyed. And while it's better to play those games than to have just garbage games, which is what they had prior, LSU listened, and they started scheduling home and homes. And they scheduled a home and home with UCLA, and scheduled a home and home with Texas, and they scheduled a home and home with Clemson and Arizona State. And so they got a lot of those coming. But when you can sprinkle in a game like this in Vegas against USC, I mean, would you love for that game to be home and home in Baton Rouge and Los Angeles? Absolutely. But if this is the alternative, and this is the way to make that game happen, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. So, anyway. But good for LSU for listening and scheduling some home and homes and, and games that fans want to see. Dax Jeter, good morning. Any update on when Glenn Logan will be able to return? No update, man. That if that's like a 6 to 8 week injury, you'd be talking sometime in October. Hey, Dad, good morning. Jonathan Martin, Brian Wynn, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, YouTube, what's up over here? Joey Vincent, Trivia Carter, Brady Smith, good morning. I'll absolutely be going to Vegas in 2024. Me too, man. Definitely looking forward to that. Robert Besh, good morning. Besh or Bosch, B-O-E-S-C-H. Spurge, what's up? Any chance Brennan comes back earlier than expected? So Spurge, the target that I was told was the Bama game. So, they'd like to have him back that Bama game kind of at the latest. So, provided that bone heals and everything goes perfectly, the 8-week time frame could be in play, which would put you right there at the start of October. So right there around Mississippi State or Auburn, which I think is optimistic. But that's where the target would be. Mark Allen, I wonder if USC ran it by the Alliance. That is, look, I mean, that is a little bit of a jab in the nose, isn't it? Like, the day after the Alliance is announced, the most prominent brand in the Pac-12, and you could argue in that entire alliance, USC, Michigan, Ohio State, 3 biggest brands in the entire thing. One of the 3 biggest brands in the entire thing announces, or it leaks that they have a neutral site game with LSU. Brr. Okay. Let's see. When's the last time LSU played 2 high-level out-of-conference games in the regular season? I feel like I should know this. Two Power 5 non-conference in the same year. I'm going through them all in my mind. I feel like I'm stumped. 02 was the year they expanded to 12, and they played Virginia Tech that year. LSU's policy has been 1 Power 5, 1 high-level group of 5, 1 low-level group of 5, and an FCS opponent. That's been their scheduling model. So I'm trying to think of the last. Everybody knows it right offhand. Man, let me know. Now I'm really trying to think of when that was. Is that it? Dax Jeter said Ohio State and Notre Dame in 87. Is that it? Was it 87? Because I think I would say probably in some of those years where they had A&M. Like, here you go. No, here, because 88, yeah, look here, 88, they played A&M and Miami. And you also played Syracuse's bowl game. And Ohio, no, 80. So 88, you played Texas A&M, Ohio State, and Miami. So 88 would have probably been the last time. What a schedule, huh? '88. I feel like it's happened since then. Yeah, 89, you played A&M, Florida State, Ohio, and Tulane. So 89, you played A&M and Florida State. See what I mean? Like, I feel like there was going to be a year where, like, in those years where they were playing that A&M series. This is 1990. Miami of Ohio, Texas A&M, Florida State. So that's when it was. It had to be whenever they had the Florida State and Texas A&M series overlapping. A&M, Florida State in 91. A&M, Colorado State. Tulane. So 91 maybe. 91, I would guess. Because then the league expanded in 92 and added Arkansas, South Carolina, so LSU added the Arkansas game to the schedule every year. Oh, 94, that lost to South Carolina. Ooh. And then tied him in 95. Ugh. Yeah. Looks like 90, what did I say, 91? 91, the year before the league expanded. Looks like that was the last time. Unless there's a year that snuck in there somewhere that I'm missing. Let's see. Ooh, it's 7:50. All right, let me go quickly. Josh Giraldo, LSU's receiver room, looks like he can get a legit 10 deep. So I don't know that you have to define contributing, Josh. So here's my point. Look at 2019. And I've always counted the guys that had double-digit receptions. And that list is long because even a guy like here it is. Okay. So Jefferson had 111, Chase had 84, Clyde had 55, Moss had 47. So if your top four, you went two receivers, running back, tight end. So if you're just counting pass catchers, yes. But if you're talking wide receivers, Jefferson 111, Chase 84, Marshall had 46, and then you had a massive drop-off. Racy had 17, but again, double digits. Derek Dillon had 15, but again, double digits. Then Stephon Sullivan had 12. Ty Davis-Price had 10. So you had 5 receivers. Well, I guess you can count Sullivan. So 6 receivers that had double-digit receptions. And that was in the greatest offense we've ever seen. So if you're going to include running back, tight end, yeah, that number I think can creep up there. Do I think there are 6 wide receivers on this team that get double-digit receptions? I do not. I think 4 is realistic. It's very realistic. Oh, thank you, Ivan. I knew there was one that was so stinking obvious and it was just escaping me. Thank you. Ivan Ludley. 2011, they played Oregon and West Virginia. They opened with Oregon, they went to Morgantown. Thank you. I knew there was one that was like so obvious it was slapping me in the face. Thank you. Let's see. Jesse Brown, Morning Matt, you think the Saints would make a trade for a tight end like Zach Ertz? Depends what it would take to get him. I wouldn't be opposed to it, Jesse. The problem is if you have to give up a lot, considering how much they love Adam Troutman. That would be sort of the deal breaker. Tim Gotro, good morning. Kyle Milliken, morning, Matt. What are the most concerning position groups going into UCLA game? O-line and D-line? O-line for sure. O-line and running back. Kenneth Martin, morning, Matt. What's the worst of the two situations with LSU? Losing Rosenthal or Brennan? Dare Rosenthal wasn't a great player to begin with. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, and yes, it sucks to lose your starter at left tackle, but he was a turnstile at times. I'm going to say Brennan because you are now paper thin at quarterback, and I think it does affect how you call plays. Not having Brennan, whether he would have won the starting job or not. Brady Smith, LSU played BYU and Syracuse in 17. Okay. But BYU isn't a Power 5. Let's see, Brian Andy Pinton, good morning from Fort Brigadier, Wyoming. Let's go show Vegas what a real party looks like. I have a feeling LSU fans are going to try. Let's see, where are we real quick. Tim Sonia, morning, Matt. Who's the guy who spoke with the media days and his fantasy football guy? That was Lynn Scarborough of Lindy's magazine. So Lindy's puts out their college and NFL preseason magazine, but they also have a fantasy football guide. Lindy's magazine. Carson Stevenson, morning, Matt. Excited as I am about the season, being cautiously optimistic. I don't want us to be mediocre, but get blinded by at least aren't as bad as last year's excuses. Good point. Tavanka De Silva, good morning. Clark Tiger Davis, Cole Brown, good morning. What type of season do you expect from Dare starting for UK? I think Kentucky's got a really good offensive line. I think he'll do just fine. I mean, he's not an all-conference caliber player. Eric Hart, good morning. David Nault, good morning. Can't wait for Vegas. Daniel Sinetz, what's up? Eric, can't wait for Texas' first game in Tiger Stadium as payback for the 2019 fan and band seating debacle. Well, Eric, remember this, man. That will be a conference game. And so the conference does mandate where you allow opposing seat. Like you have to allow so many like seats in your lower bowl or premium, whatever. So, so Texas, their band isn't going to get totally shafted like LSU's was in 2019. Dylan Landry, good morning. Neil Ripley, after Katrina, did they just play Arizona State? They never had the makeup. And remember, the game that LSU played there in 2005 technically was not an Arizona State home game. Remember, they repainted the end zones. They treated it sort of like as a kind of a neutral site deal, a fundraiser for Katrina relief. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Let's see, Dax, defensive line is not a concern. They're going to be fine. I agree with that. I think they have enough bodies there to be fine. Why aren't more people concerned about the running back group? I am. One of these running backs has to step up. Hope it's Emery. I don't think it's going to be Emery. After what I heard from this weekend, they're not super optimistic, and it almost feels like they're saying, all right, Josh Williams and the freshman, let's see what you got. When will LSU get this weed policy changed, handing players over to the other SEC schools? Hang on one second. Here's backpack speed. Okay, I'll have to get going here in a sec. Gotta get the boy off to school. Let's see, who was it? Charlie asking about the weed policy. I don't know when they get that changed, man. I think when we have less strict weed rules in Louisiana, I don't know that we'll ever move to a uniform drug testing policy in the SEC. Let's see, his running back problem from lack of talent or poor coaching on Falk's part. I get he's a legend, but it's like concerning to me. That's a fair question. I think let's see how the freshmen play. You know, Falk wasn't the running backs coach. Well, look, you had to get John Emery, 5-star from right down the road, and you did. And you know, it's kind of a football IQ thing there. You want to run a lot of different concepts. Well, you got to trust this guy who's your most athletic guy, knows where he's going to be. Glenn Laurie, good morning. Congrats to the Little League pitcher from South Dakota throwing a no-hitter. Indeed. Offensive line, the offensive will be like 2019 guaranteed. Brian, you comparing anything to 2019, I mean, shit, man. Excuse me. 29. People forget. Man. Here, Fonse, good morning. Any word on Lattimore suspension? Man, I'm telling you, I think they're going to wait until that legal process is resolved. And I looked it up last week because Lattimore has a clean record up to this point, and because it was a non-violent action, they could choose to just fine him. So, anyway, I think at least until the legal part of it is over, I think he's going to escape any type of suspension. So fingers crossed on that. Knock on wood. All right, y'all, I got to get going. As always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. You need an orthopedist, go to Brock. Just what you do. And HUDCO. You need a roof? Call us at HUDCO. All over the state of Louisiana, commercial or residential, or HUDCOroofing.com. All right, y'all. We'll see you. Have a great one.